And Tristan Levitt now. He's attorney for IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley. Sir, thanks for taking time with us this afternoon. David just laid out this latest accusation, but it'd be great to hear it in your own words on behalf of your client, obviously. We're now hearing this reporting this accusations from your client that he was promised whistleblower protections, which is an official government status. It's sort of sacrosanct. But then that never came to be, at least not until now. Who was the Justice Department official that you say promised that to him, and how did that unfold in real time?
So it's a little more nuanced in terms of the whistleblower protections. Any whistleblower who comes forward has protections by virtue of the laws that are in place to protect them. In this case, we were seeking authorization for Gary to communicate not just any whistleblower disclosure, but private taxpayer information. And so that's why we sent a letter on April 19th to Congress seeking that authorization. Just a few days later is when Associate Deputy Attorney General Bradley Weinsheimer reached out to my co-counsel Mark Lytle and offered at that time that the Justice Department wanted to hear all about these allegations. We tried to take that in good faith. It sounded a little bit like an intel gathering pursuit prior to him testifying before Congress. But what we didn't know at the time was that Weinsheimer had already scheduled a meeting the very next day with Hunter Biden's attorneys and U.S. Attorney David Weiss, which is completely contrary to what Attorney General Merrick Garland had told Congress and the American public just 7 weeks earlier, when he said that the main Justice Department headquarters would have nothing to do with this case. It was entirely in Weiss's hands. So Weinsheimer's involvement was a very large revelation for us. 2 weeks later, a period of time elapsed during which Mark and I went to Congress and gave a proffer in which we explained the disclosures that Gary Special Agent Shapley would seek to make. And so we explained this to Congress. And in the meantime, Merrick Garland again publicly spoke out and said that Weiss had all the authority that he needed. But somehow something changed, whether it was because of meeting with Hunter Biden's attorneys, whether it was because of our proffer, and that somehow leaking to the Justice Department what we were bringing forward. But on May 15th, so just 2 weeks after that call that Mark had, Gary Shapley and his team were removed from the case. I forwarded a letter to Congress identifying that, and we forwarded that on to Weinsheimer. And so when we had a call with him the next day on May 16th, he had zero interest in pursuing this and helping further. He just said, you have to talk to David Weiss. And he did not offer to set up a meeting with Weiss for us like he did with Hunter Biden's attorneys. So it was a complete turnaround, and this really raises a lot of questions about the involvement of Main Justice in this case.
David just reported a moment ago as well that in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks from now, the Attorney General is going to testify before this House Oversight panel. What does your client hope that he will say to House members? What information does he hope he will share?
Well, at this stage, Attorney General Garland has essentially called Supervisory Special Agent Shapley a liar, in not those words, but in essence saying that Weiss has always had this authority, and Weiss has sent nuanced letters, but trying to follow the lead of the Attorney General. And so what happens when the Attorney General comes forward is that he needs to answer these specific questions, like, were these charges for Hunter Biden for 2014 and 2015 ever presented in the District of Columbia? And if so, why did the statute of limitations why was it allowed to expire on those? Were charges presented in the Central District of California? And did David Weiss have this conversation with agents, as Gary Shapley has alleged? Those and then these other further questions about Main Justice's involvement in the case are all really important areas for Congress to probe. And right now, Garland has put himself in the unenviable position of making a lot of representations that have one by one proven not to be fully accurate. And so I think Special Agent Shapley just really hopes that Congress will be able to get to the bottom of that, and that Attorney General Garland will be honest with the American public.
One quick last question before I let you go. New development today, the judge in Hunter Biden's criminal investigation is demanding that his team and the DOJ resolve this issue relating to a separate outstanding felony gun charge for Hunter Biden. Does your client have a comment on that development?
I doubt that he has a specific comment, and certainly I think all of the American public has been curious to see what will happen with this, because for the other charges, for U.S. Attorney Weiss to indicate he would bring charges in other venues, that's why he got the special counsel status. But that gun charge has remained there in Delaware, and it's clear that Judge Noriega is not tolerating any lounging about here. She has asked probing questions that got to the heart of this matter, and so it's clear she expects them to determine what they're going to do. And this will be determinative. This will help to show whether David Weiss is serious about these charges and about his assignment as special counsel or not.
All right, Tristan Levitt, thanks for taking time with us today. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.